Mrakes certainly ramping up the aggression here, been opening a lot of hands. We spoke earlier about his ambitious ace-deuce open, and then how he kind of ended up protecting that by being willing to shove over 40 big blinds with the king-9 off against the 3-bet and the small blind by the ace-queen. So certainly someone who's willing to splash around, play a lot of pots, use his chips. And Han Chung now prospering a bit here, posturing, pardon me, really might consider protecting his button, sending a little message to Mrakes.
Now, we talked earlier on, Griffin, in fact, we talked earlier this level about the pace of play and how it's actually been reasonable. And then you get the occasional player who maybe is slightly unreasonable. I do remember from Monte Carlo, Lee Han Chong is a guy who takes his time over every single decision. And that is not a criticism, by the way, it is an observation. But equally, I can see how it can be frustrating for players at the table when they feel that they're just not getting enough hands in per level.
I'll allow it. You know why? His name's fun to say. Lee Han Chong, come on.
So the re-raise is to 180,000. And Mrakes has called. He is out of position, doesn't have the betting lead, but does have the monster stack. Four, 4, 4.
Obviously a flop that is much more favorable to Han Chung's range here. Going to be difficult for Mrakes to continue with much of his range.
The reaction has been checked to Han Chong.
You have labello? Lip stuff? Yeah. You reminded me, I'm gonna put some on. Ah, and some. Boom. That's nice.
Continuation bet of 110,000.
Might as well.
Mrakes deciding to continue here.
Eight of hearts on the turn.
Mrakes would certainly continue with every single pocket pair here, and he has pretty much all of them up until tens or maybe even jacks here. Would definitely continue with ace queen, maybe even ace jack. But Han Chong is the one with the uncapped range here, and if he wants to continue selling his story, if he does have a bluff hand, he's going to want to keep firing. And these are the big moments for players. Whether they have it or not, they really want to take down pots of this size at this stage of the tournament. And Han Chong is looking at his chips. Does he have 300,000 in him?
How much?
520.
Oh yeah? Oh, I thought six.
A fistful of green. Those are
Well,
the
I just assumed
25k
that was
chips.
3, but it's less, I
So it's a bet of 225,000.
Ah, yeah.
Pretty small bet relative to the size of the pot.
That.
Certainly indicative of strength, but also a case of wanting to,
Where do you live?
you know, perhaps
it's
set up
river.
a bigger river
know.
shove
That's,
Traveling the world.
that's it.
with just over 850,000 chips behind. If Mrakes
Yeah,
does
you travel
decide
a
to
lot of
continue here, the pot's
Yeah, travel a bunch.
going to be about
Yeah, I travel.
1.1 million.
Like half the year, would you say?
Probably less.
Less.
And with Mrakes reaching for chips, this has the potential to be the biggest pot of the tournament.
I think I played
If
with
we
you
see
before, but I can't remember where.
a river shove.
Definitely could be. Not in this tournament, you mean?
Almost 1.1 million in the pot.
Two clubs completes the board. Yeah, Lee Hon Chong, we're significantly less than pot behind. You commented on his bet sizing on the turn. Do you think he might have set this up for a river shove, though, Griffin?
I think that would be the intention.
Better is couch than is spy.
Well, here's his opportunity. Mrakes has checked to
Better is
him.
couch than is spy.
And more times than not, if
Than is spy.
Han Chung does decide to shove here,
Spy would be undercover.
someone is going to be
Exactly.
in a brave position. Whether it's Chung bravely deciding to bluff all in, or Mrakes having a bluff catching hand like pocket sevens, pocket nines. It's certainly going to be tough.
He didn't do that much at our table. He was like, yes, in a very odd way, yes.
There is the shove from Lee Hon Chong.
He had one emotional reaction.
856,000 into 1.1 million. And seemingly a big decision for Michal Mrakes.
Well, you know. So no one busted? What happened?
What happened, Fatima, is there's a big hand right now going on at your table. Mrakes calls.
Okay.
Ridiculously huge pot. What are the hands?
And Mrakes looks like
Oh my.
he calls him with the ace 10 high.
10.
Oh
wow.
my. Mrakes calls with ace high and is right. Lee Hon Chong just bluffed his way out of the tournament. He just bluffed off a huge stack with queen 7. What a hero call from Mrakes.